Hello. So you've heard the claims that level 60 only takes 3 to 5 days to reach, and you're wondering if that's true or not, as you are finding leveling to take a bit longer. You may also be wondering, what is the fastest method for leveling? To know if this is possible or not, we have to look at a few factors. When did you get into the game? How many people are you playing with? Is your company feeding you resources? Are you a solo player? And how active is your server? If you're on a server that is lightly populated, your ability to level could slow down. Then again, it could speed up, depending on how you choose to level. You have probably heard that questing is the fastest way to level. Then someone else says, no, town boards are the fastest way. Then another goes, no, killing elites is the fastest way. And then yet another will say, no, closing portals is the fastest way. Again, this will depend on the aforementioned factors. If you hopped onto a server on day 1, got in quick, and didn't have to wait 12 hours to join, and then didn't log off and just ran with randoms or your group, questing would have been a fast way to level. The reasoning is that the quest areas would have been swarmed, and since most of them are go collect a box or kill some mobs, you could just waltz in and grab your boxes. Use a ranged weapon to hit a mob a couple times while other groups killed them, and get the credit. This will allow you to quickly knock out the quest while traveling around getting your fast travel points. At this point in the game, you're not likely to see many or any players running the low level quests, so questing will give slower XP than it did early on. Even if a player was on day 1, would questing actually get them to 60 in 3 to 5 days? Considering even high level quests are only worth 1 to 3,000 experience, with a few being worth up to 7,000, it's very unlikely that anyone could hit level 60 just questing. You have to keep in mind when someone is using days that the time is ambiguous. 3 to 5 days for one person may mean 60 to 100 hours, but for someone else it may mean 6 to 20 hours, and so on. Questing requires other players actively in the same areas to make it faster, so the server needs to have active people around your level. Then there are town boards. Some people feel these are the fastest way to level because you can clear most missions from them quickly. But is that true? Most town board missions want you to go out and kill or collect something. The items that pop up on the town board may not even be located in the region the town is in, so to do these missions you have to travel around and gather items, kill creatures, and grab crates from ruins. The ruin missions are usually ignored as they do not provide much XP and require a long run. Eventually you will get crafting missions from the town boards as well. Even with having to go out and gather the materials, travel to new regions to kill the creatures, and craft items, town board missions can usually be completed faster than questing and offer similar experience. The issue with the town boards is the downtime between refreshes, and oftentimes there just are not many town board missions. On a highly populated server, you may not be able to get the resources and everyone will be killing the creatures you need to complete these, slowing your progress way down. You also need to travel to multiple towns and get their missions as well to make this method very effective, which will burn Azoth for speed. At some point you will have to stop and go farm Azoth, slowing town boards down even more. This method will not get you to level 60 in under 5 days. Then there is the killing elites and mobs as a way to level up fast. Generally, to kill one's worth the time, you need a group, so this is not an option for solo players. There are some mobs a solo player could farm with a fire staff or ice gauntlet fast, but there are issues with this. When farming mobs solo or with a group, any other player, even if it is just one, that runs up and drops some area damage, gets to join in on getting that XP. This in turn reduces the amount of XP your group or you would have gotten. So the more populated the server, the less XP you're going to get farming mobs. Even if you flag with PvP, the players coming to siphon off your XP are not going to be, so there's not anything you can do to prevent this issue. Farming mobs is a great way to level up weapon XP, but is not the fastest way to level up. Some people claim portals are the way to level up. Portals do grant a nice chunk of XP and Azoth. Level 25 portals can be done solo by level 40. You can probably do some of them sooner, but shouldn't have any trouble on even the 5-player ones once you're level 40. Before then, you need a group to do these, so you have to pug if you're solo. The 25s give 400 XP for the lower tiers and 700 to 1000 for the larger ones. The level 35 portals only give 20% more experience and are harder. The 45s only give 20% more than 35s, and so on. Another issue with portals is it requires an Azoth staff to complete, so you will need to go through the main story to get your Azoth staff, or join groups that have them. Level 25s require an Azoth staff for rank 1, 35s need a rank 2, 45s need a rank 3, and so on. The main story is level locked, so you will need to reach a high enough level to get to the next tier of Azoth staff. If you're on a very populated server, you may find that you get a portal just as a group finishes it, and if you're solo, you may find that groups running the portals can keep you from doing enough damage to get credit for them, stopping you from earning any XP and Azoth. Once an area is cleared out, you will need to run for a while to get to the next set, or fast travel burning Azoth. Portals are limited, so the more groups out doing them, the less there will be to complete. These factors make portals a less likely way to be able to level up fast, though if you can close a cluster of them down, it'll be like completing some town-board missions. Portals are a great way to build up Azoth, so if any appear in your area while doing town-board missions, you might as well jump in and get some Azoth and XP, then go back to what you were doing. None of the leveling methods will get you to level 60 fast on their own. If you notice, some of the people saying they only did town-board missions have low gathering and crafting levels. This means that someone else provided them the resources for the crafting and gathering missions, which are worth the most, allowing them to speed up the leveling process. If you have a group of people funneling resources to you to help level, you can level extremely fast on town-board missions. But let's be honest, the majority of players will not have this. So how would you do it? Well, let's keep in mind that all the aforementioned methods give good XP, and if you can combine all of them into a nice route that loops, you can level up quick. Keep in mind that you get a nice chunk of XP each time a gathering crafting profession gains a level. So if you add in all the gathering methods in your loop, at least until each is at 50, you will get a few easy levels that way. Skinning levels fast, granting a lot of XP, so make sure to skin everywhere you go. Then just burn the hide crafting it, or drop it on the market cheap to offload it. One thing that will slow your leveling down is inventory management. If your goal is to get to level 60 as fast as possible, you need to just dump stuff when you're overweight, and in towns after refining and crafting, toss the stuff or sell it cheap to offload it, and keep moving. You can also combine faction quests from each city into your leveling loop, racking in the XP faster going to the same areas anyway. So when we combine all the methods together and maximize your XP gain, can we hit level 60 in 3 to 5 days, or is this just a myth? For the majority of players, this is a myth, but keep in mind that days is not the same for everyone. Someone who pushes hard and plays 16 hours a day can hit level 60 before others. If they get fed resources from others to level faster, it might be possible. A player that pushes hard and only focuses on leveling, never getting distracted, can hit level 60 in roughly 80 to 100 hours. I don't recommend playing that many hours in a 5-day period. Eventually the market will crash and resources will be super cheap, allowing town-board missions to be completed faster. But for now, leveling to 60 in under 5 days for most players is a myth. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Have an awesome day.